Okay, guys, literally take three. Like you guys don't even know what I'm going through right now. So I'm trying to make this video, and apparently I can't switch between apps. Oh my god, I'm so old, you guys. So I got my Bible here, my handy dandy Bible, my old fashioned physical Bible, and I'm going to go through these scriptures really fast. So this has gone through like quite a few edits, self edits. So we're going to be talking about number 3 on my God's X series, and it's called Keeping Secrets. Now, God doesn't keep a lot of secrets. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really find a lot of secret keeping, but especially since the times that he does say that he's keeping a secret, he's literally like, hey, everybody, that's a secret. So there's something open about it at every turn. It's just not. But I wrote it down. I got a bunch of scriptures here to go through. Maybe this will help somebody in case they have an issue with hidden information in the Bible. But the first example I found was Acts 1, 6-7. So it says, then they gathered around him and asked him, Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel? He said to them, it is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set by his own authority. So there we see Jesus telling them, giving him a roundabout answer. That's basically like, that's not for you to know. And he clearly did not know himself, or I wouldn't say clearly, but he seemed to not know himself, and he also seemed to be fine with that, because he just says that it's not for you to know the dates or times that the Father has set by his own authority. So, yeah, that's one example. And then another one is Revelations 10, chapter 10, verse 4. So, okay, it's literally the last book of the Bible here. Let's go all the way back to the back. Okay, verse 4. Oh no, chapter 4. Man, I'm telling you, having a physical Bible is just like bleh. Okay, here we go. 10:4. And when the seven thunders spoke, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven say, seal up what the seven thunders have said and do not write it down. So there we go. There's another, there's another example of God being super secretive. John heard it, so it wasn't that secret, I guess, but he didn't want it written down for some reason. Those are really the only 2 examples I could find. And then I've got a couple of things in Isaiah, and then it just says God talks his ish. So let's go to where God talks his ish, which I don't know, it's kind of like a fun thing. I quite like those scriptures. They're usually pretty hilarious. Isaiah 48. Isaiah 48. Isaiah is a good one. Jeremiah is a good one too. If you want to hear God say some stuff that will just like kind of make you laugh. Okay, Isaiah 48. Listen to this, you descendants of Jacob, you who are called by the name of Israel and come from the line of Judah, you who take oaths in the name of the Lord and invoke the God of Israel. Is someone coming in here? I tell you what, anytime I'm trying to make a video, people get super interested in what I'm doing. You who take oaths in the name of the Lord and invoke the God of Israel, but not in truth or righteousness, you who call yourselves citizens of the holy city and claim to rely on the God of Israel, the Lord Almighty is his name. I foretold the former things long ago. My mouth announced them, and I made them known. Then suddenly I acted, and they came to pass. For I knew how stubborn you were. Am I supposed to be reading all this? 48:3, that's what I just read. I foretold the former things long ago. My mouth announced them, and I made them known. Then suddenly I acted, and they came to pass. I mean, that's pretty badass. I don't know why I put that in the keep secrets part, but I think this is sort of getting into an issue that I thought about once before about the way that God hides things, because yes, there are hidden things. There are hidden things the way that treasure is hidden, the way that buried things, whole cities that were once out in the open become buried over time. Um, Anything can be secret that way. It's not so much that he is hiding things from people so that they won't find them out. It's that if they've been covered over after years, no one even knows that it's there. But he knows, because he knows everything and he's seen everything. And he's outside of time. Like, yeah, technically that would be a secret. So um, that in and of itself is different from any sort of motivation of any sort of secret society, secret this. It's not, these this information kept in one family over generations, and if you agree to this super sacred oath, that you can, and agree to be blackmailed if you or threatened with physical violence or threatened to die or swear your life. All of that, by the way, is just a really, really, really elaborate way of saying, like, shh, don't tell, because um, darkness is inferior to light. And so it needs your blood ritual, uh, lifelong, threatening blackmail, whatever, to survive. It needs that to survive. It's weak. But, when you put it in with the backdrop of, highfalutin society people that are this way to everyone else, and then, and fast cars and mansions and, all of the fancy blingity bling of the world, that maybe covers over, it makes it seem distinguished somehow. But it's like, if you look blatantly at it, it's like, this is a house of cards that will completely get blown down by a child who just saw too much stuff. Like, that's weak, dude. Like, I don't know how people don't see that. So is God like that? No. The secrets he's talking about is stuff that people didn't care about, stuff they can't see because it's on the backside of a mountain and you can't climb up there or you'll die, that type of stuff. Secrets that he's just going to hand you for free because you care and want to know. But you would have to kill yourself to go get, because, it's in some place that you could never find. It's hidden beneath the sand of the beaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different type of deal. And those secrets are cool. But the type of stuff where it's just like, who killed so and so, that's not cool. Tell somebody about that. That's a cold case. Like, okay, so then we've got 48, 5, and 11. So 48, 5, and 11. Therefore, I told you these things long ago. Before they happened, I announced them to you so that you could not say, my images brought them about. My wooden image and metal God ordained them. See, this is what I'm saying. God is so fed up with y'all. I love it. So, yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. Like there are things that God needs to keep secret for the time being because he's doing something hidden. And the enemy, if he knew about it, would be able to do X, Y, and Z. So, but if you're God, how do you conduct a secret mission without being considered one of these secret society, CIA confidential classified information, type of nonsense things? Well, you do it by telling the future before it happens, because no one knows what to make of it. It's the future. So you can hide things in plain sight by telling people beforehand what it's going to be. People are just going to be like looking like a scared dog at a wall. So that's what God does. You can't say He didn't tell you. And then basically you have like 10 seconds, maybe a 10-second window before it happens to realize, oh my gosh, this is the thing that's going to happen, before you can get up and act and try and do something. And by that point, it's too late. So, yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like He just tells the future. And that keeps Him from violating Himself, violating His nature of being, the light, the city on a hill, the light, or, using the foolish things that confound the wise. Instead of using the learned things, the erudite things, the articulate things that, would call people to, that would appeal to people's ego and to their, their mind, their carnal mind. It's like, I'll use the dumb things, and that way I can do what I need to do without being bothered. Another great method. But I but I like what he's saying right here, because like, this is not even, you don't even have to speculate, because he's telling you exactly why. This is so funny, you guys. How do you not know this is funny? Therefore, I told you these things long ago before they happened. I announced them to you so that you could not say, my image has brought them about. My wooden image and mental God ordained them. He was over the idol worship, y'all. Like, he couldn't take it. He was like, let me foretell this before somebody tries to give their idols credit for it. And then he says, from now on, I will tell you of new things, of hidden things unknown to you. They are created now and not long ago. You have not heard them before today, so you cannot say, yes, I knew of them. You have neither heard nor understood. From of old, your ears have not been open. So, yeah, that's him talking as Ish. As it goes on to 11. He says, see, I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. For my own sake, I do this. Twice he says that. How can I let myself be defamed? I will not yield my glory to another. So, yeah, some people don't like that language, but it's like, I love it. It's like, that's God being a God. Like, I don't think, he's the only God that like cares about his title. Like, all the other gods that do anything and they got these like elaborate backstories and they do stuff for humans, it's like, for what? Why? They, the humans do bring them, children to be sacrificed, and then they get stuff. Yeah, I mean, they don't even make sure it's from them. Like, they don't do anything. They don't seem to care that they are worshipped. They don't care about the job. God cares about the job. He's like, listen, I created y'all, and I'm going to tell you something, and I want y'all to give me credit for telling you. Like, all the signs are there that he's real. Like, what human is going to write this stuff? We don't even know what a God should be concerned with until you read this stuff and you realize God wants his credit for his thing that he did. And he doesn't really like that you are giving credit to like literal wood. He's like, that. Let me tell you this now so you can't credit your freaking wooden images. Talking about, oh, this guy did it and that guy. Like, he really is like, he can't stand it. I love it. Like, these are so unique to him. If you want to understand his personality, you got to read these. And then him just being like, listen, I won't yield my glory to another. Like, that's not unreasonable if he's God. And So I don't know why people point these verses out. It's because they want to be their own gods, and so they just don't like it. They think it's forceful and it's just too much. They want to be able to have the upper hand, and it's like, I don't need the upper hand. I think it's super cool. um Here's another one. My own hand laid the foundations of the earth, and my right hand spread out the heavens. When I summon them, they all stand up together. There's another verse that's like, the stars. He says something like, the stars, I know the stars by name, and, they line up in a row or something like that. And I was just like, dude, that's like, but who would even write that and make that up? Like, who knew that the stars can like line up in a row in front of God? And who knows, who would even know to invent that to brag about like thousands of years ago? Like, that's just so crazy. And then the last one I put, 17 to 19. This is what the Lord says, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord your God who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go. If only you had paid attention to my commands, your peace would have been like a river, your well-being like the waves of the sea. Your descendants would have been like the sand, your children like its numberless grains. Their name would never be blotted out nor destroyed from before me. So yeah, that's God again being concerned with God things like His creation and how it's doing. So so we can see that God's really forthcoming. He has a personality that's like, He doesn't understand why you don't understand that He's God. It's just like He's going to say things that you think are over the top, but it's like He's God. Like, He can't not talk that way. Like, it's so hard to fake that I don't know. I if you can't see that, I don't even know what to tell you. So that's all I have for number 3. So it was pretty thin to begin with. There's not a lot of secrets, but I think we went over that pretty well, and just the difference between God's secrets and the devil's secrets. I think the next one, I'm glad that I, was able to chop that in half a little bit for you. So the next one, we have 4 and 5. So I think the next one is restricting your behavior. So that's another one that people have an issue with. So we will talk about that next time, and God bless y'all.